said yeah.
And on the way out, a soldier hit me with his bayonet.
Welcome to Montgomery, counselors.
Al, it's a pleasure to be here.
Why don't you have a seat? What can I do for you, gentlemen?
Well, we met Leroy Wright in the Birmingham jail now. He claims that he was assaulted by a militiaman in Scottsboro. Apparently a state trooper cut a piece of flesh from his cheek with a bayonet.
Well, I haven't heard a thing about it.
Well, as the former Attorney General and esteemed member of the Alabama Supreme Court, we thought you might want to order an investigation.
Investigation?
Don't you think we should let the colored boy identify the man who cut him?
Bring me the boy. I'll see to it justice is served.
That's very good to hear, General. I'm sure that he'd be happy to make the trip along with the white officer who put that nasty scar on his face.
Mr. Leibowitz, some of us read and ride, put our pants on one leg at a time just like you do. Sir, I have no racial bigotry or hatred in me. But believe me when I tell you, we understand the Negro and know how to handle him.
Let me ask you this. Why are Negroes in Alabama excluded from jury service?
We don't need to talk about that.
I have to. I'm compelled to. New York Bar Association would begin proceedings against me for malpractice unless I pleaded that the indictment was defective. I'll tell you, though. I'll tell you what you could do. I mean, avoid that question entirely.
Mm-hmm. How?
All you have to do is drop the charges and call this whole thing off.
You can go straight to hell.
If I go, sir, you're coming with me. I give it a shot.
Please be seated. Before we begin jury selection, I understand the defense has a motion to make, Mr. Leibowitz?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. I would first like to call a witness and ask that Mr. James Benson be sworn in at this time.
The state has no objection.
Mr. Benson?
Place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
I do.
Be seated.
Mr. Benson.
Yes.
Now, you are one of the jury commissioners for Jackson County, is that correct?
Yes, sir. I'm also the editor of Scottsboro Progressive Age, and I'm a member of the Alabama Press Association. I'm the president.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Yes.
You recognize this book?
Yes, sir. It's the Jackson County Jury Roll Book.
To your knowledge, do the names of any Negroes that live and work in Jackson County appear in this jury roll?
No, sir, not that I'm aware of.
Ah, now it's quite a large book. There are a lot of names in that book, right?
Yes, sir.
But no Negroes. Can you explain why it is that Negroes are excluded from this book?
It's a matter of selection, sir, not exclusion. Some Negroes have a sound reputation, but they hadn't been properly trained for jury duty.
Oh, why is that?
They don't have sound judgment. I say the same thing about women folk.
I see. Well, let me ask you this. Is the judgment of, say, a Negro preacher or teacher or deacon any less sound than that of an illiterate white man?
No, sir, a lot of the Negroes have good education, but they lack character.
Now, by character, do you mean honesty?
Yes, sir, some Negroes will steal.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that. Now, earlier you said something about training. They lack the training. What exactly does that mean? Could you tell the court a little bit about what that training entails?
They get training in their everyday life and what they do.
They get training in what they do in life. But that has nothing to do with jury service, because jury service is, in fact, something that any citizen who lives in the state is of proper age with no prior convictions is eligible. Would you say that's a fair interpretation of the code?
Yes, sir.
So, in fact, Negroes could be included in this book, but they are not.
That's correct.
Thank you, that's all.
Yes, sir.
You may step down, sir. Please call your first witness.
The state calls Miss Victoria Price.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please be seated.
Your name is Victoria Price?
Yes, sir.
On March 25th, 1931, where were you living?
Huntsville, Alabama.
On that day, were you on a freight train traveling through Jackson County?
Yes, sir.
Was anyone else with you on that train?
Ruby Bates.
And what part of the train were you in?
Gondola car.
And as the train proceeded on its way, did anyone else come into that gondola car?
Some colored boys come over.
What did the defendant do then?
He helped take my clothes off.
And what clothes did you have on?
Overalls, shirt, dress, step-ins, girl's coat and girl's hat.
Now, Miss Price, I ask you to examine this garment. These are the step-ins you had on.
Yes, sir.
We offer them in evidence.
Your Honor, we object. Those step-ins, they were not produced at the first trial at Scottsboro.
They are now.
This court will not permit any disorder. I will clear this courtroom if it is necessary to do so. If you cannot restrain your feelings, the proper place for you is outside.
This defendant had intercourse with you?
Yes, sir.
Now, Miss Price, you resist this defendant.
I fought him as long as I could.
You may have the witness. State calls Dr. R.R. Bridges. On March 25th of 1931, did you examine Victoria Price?
Yes, sir.
And doctor, from your examination of Victoria Price on that occasion, was it apparent to you that she had had sexual intercourse?
Yes, sir.
And is it possible, in your opinion, that as many as 9 men could have had intercourse with her?
Objection.
Overruled. It's possible.
Thank you, doctor.
Dr. Bridges, when these two women came to your office, was either one of them hysterical?
No, sir.
As a medical man, can you conceive, can you imagine 2 women, going through such a horrible experience? I mean, 9 Negroes raping them, throwing them around a freight car, and they come to your doctor's office and they show no signs of hysteria.
Objection.
Dr. Bridges, the male egg is called the spermatozoa.
Yes, sir.
Now, it moves around like a little tadpole.
Well, it has a head, body, and tail.
All right. And if you remove the spermatozoa, or the tadpole, from a woman's womb, and you place it under a microscope, can you see it moving?
Yes, sir.
Under favorable conditions, how long can the spermatozoa live inside a woman?
Around 24 hours.
Now, did you remove spermatozoa from Victoria Price?
Yes, sir.
When?
The afternoon of the 25th.
Did you place that spermatozoa under a microscope?
Yes, sir.
Was it moving around?
No, sir. It was non-motile.
In other words, it was dead. Non-motile means dead.
Yes, sir.
So, the best you could say is that these two women had intercourse. With how many men or when it took place, nobody could say.
No, sir.
Not even a doctor.
No, sir.
Thank you very much.
And a mule out in your pasture when the freight train went by?
That's when I seen the darkies and a white girl in a gondola. One of them grabbed her and threw her down in the car.
Is this a picture of your farm?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've studied this. Now, from that position, sitting next to the woodpile, it appears that the barn would be blocking your view of the railroad tracks on one side, and the house would be blocking it on the other. Are you sure you saw a girl on the train?
I reckon so. She had on woman's clothes.
She had on woman's clothes. She didn't have on overalls or a woman's coat.
No, dress.
Do you own an automobile?
Yes, sir. A Ford pickup.
A fine vehicle. Is it in good running condition?
It sure is.
Tell me something. Seeing a white woman being attacked on a train by a Negro, how come you didn't jump into your fine running pickup and go inform the law, make a complaint to somebody? I mean, how come you didn't do that? I don't.
Be seated.
Please call your first witness. Mr. Leibowitz,
Your Honor,
please call your first witness.
we have no more witnesses at this time, Your Honor.
Does the defense rest?
No, sir, no, we are just going through some procedural matters at the moment.
Counselor?
Your Honor, may I approach the bench? Do we have one more witness?
I have been informed that there will be one more witness to testify. Proceed.
Defense calls Ruby Bates.
Place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Be seated.
Ruby Bates. Have you ever seen me before in your life?
Not that I know of.
Do you know Victoria Price?
Yes, sir.
And is she in the courtroom here today?
She's right there.
Now, how long before this ride on the freight train did you meet Victoria Price?
About 2 years. We worked in the mail together.
I see. Do you know a man by the name of Lester Carter?
Yes, sir. Yonder he is.
On the morning of March 25th, 1931, did you get on a freight train with Victoria, Lester, and Orville Gilly?
Yes.
Now, please tell us, in your own way, what happened on that train?
The train pulled out of the yard just after 10 o'clock.
And what happened next?
Later on, when the freight pulled into paint rock. Victoria told me to play along with her.
If I'm in here, they'll throw us in jail for sure.
No, they won't.
Shut up.
Miss Bates, were you ever attacked by a Negro on that train?
No, sir.
Did you see Victoria Price attacked on that train?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, we are not trying lawyers in this case. We are not trying state lines or whether the defendant is white or black. The only job is to determine whether Haywood Patterson is guilty or not, beyond a reasonable doubt. I know you will do your duty as honorable citizens of this great state of Alabama, in which your freedom lies. Let justice be done, though the heavens may fall.
All rise. Please be seated.
Has the jury agreed upon a verdict? The jury finds the defendant guilty as charged. Fix the punishment of death in the electric chair. May the Lord have mercy on your soul.
We did it! That's Alabama law right there. That's Alabama justice right there. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Lord have mercy. Thank you.
Social order is based on law, and its perpetuity on its fair and impartial administration. History, sacred and profane, and the common experience of mankind teach us that women of the character shown in this case are prone for selfish reasons to make false accusations of rape and insult upon the slightest provocation. It is therefore the judgment of this court that the verdict of the jury in this case be set aside, and a new trial be hereby ordered.